Hi sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button and turn your notifications so you are notified each time I upload. And please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I am saying a very big shout out to every one of you for the support and love you all give me here. I am grateful. Thank you so much. So today, a black man called out a white man out, PragerU. Actually, this man is the person they are using his curriculum to teach black kids or to teach in Florida schools. And I am telling you that most of the things in what they are going to be teaching the kids are absolutely lies. And now I remember that I played some of the videos for you during the time we talked that slavery was beneficial to black people. So this man actually is saying that he is going to blow people's mind by giving them the truth that will blow people's mind. And the truth that will blow people's mind are actually lies, because most of the things they are teaching are lies, and what he is saying is also lie. And a black man actually challenged him, telling him that, how do you also fail in your own course? I don't understand it. They are the one that set exam, but at the same time he is failing. And I am asking, why are they employing them to teach black history, to talk about black stories, when they are not even qualified to talk about black history? And then they go around lying about the whole thing. It is just sad. This man that I am talking about is PragerU, and you all know that he is a dropout. He actually did not finish college. But then he is sitting somewhere and telling black people what their history should be and what their history is. And that is something that I find it's kind of mad, right? Because I don't see how someone that is not fit enough to talk about black history is out there giving people information. Not just giving people information, misinforming them about black history and saying that they are correct history. How are they correct history? You know what? Stay glued to the screen. I'm just going to roll this clip. We'll come back to talk about it, and I absolutely will read all your comments. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. And straight up, I am rolling the clip.
Straight facts, no chaser. It appears Mr. Dennis Prager wants to have a battle of wits with black people. Let's get it.
So I deal with the lies and give you some truths that in many cases blow people's minds. They just can't believe it. How many Africans were imported as slaves into the United States, both pre-United States and post-United States?
The answer is 388,000. And here are two sources. Now, what is your answer?
Actually, the best number that they have come up with is 305,326.
The best number, they. For someone who doesn't like pronouns, you sure do use them as sources. Who is they? I gave you two credible sources. So 305,326 is the number you say? Then why can't we find one source anywhere with those numbers? Not the Library of Congress, Time Magazine, the New York Times, History Channel. What source do you have? None of these comport with the number of 326. They comport with 388,000 plus. Now that we proved that was a lie, how many Europeans came as indentured servants here in that time frame? 216. So he makes it seem like it's just such a little number. 388, 216. That still means they had more of us than them. So how does that make you less of an evil bastard? I mean, do some homework. This shit's too easy to prove. Dennis Prager. What next? You want to continue with this battle of wits? Let's get it.
Now, how many slaves were brought into Latin America by other countries during the same period that 305,000 were brought into the United States? How many do you think? 12.5 million.
He would be right on that one. Good job. But riddle me this. By 1861, America had more slaves than any other place in the Western Hemisphere. How, pray tell, do you think we ended up having more slaves than the rest of the Western Hemisphere, Mr. Prager? What next? Let's get it.
There was only one thing unique about slavery in the West. It raised the issue of the morality of slavery ferociously debated it, and finally abolished it there, before it was abolished by any other civilization.
Slavery was abolished in Spain in 1811, Danish West Indies, 1846, France, 1848, Portugal, 1858, Netherlands, the Dutch Caribbean colonies, 1861, all before America did it in 1865. What next? Let's get it.
If you care about moral truth rather than, for example, promoting America hatred, you must recognize and you must teach that America was one of the first slave-holding societies to abolish slavery. This even includes Africa. Cornell professor Sandra Green, a black scholar of African history, notes, quote, slavery in the United States ended in 1865, but in West Africa it was not legally ended until 1875, and then it stretched on unofficially until almost World War I. In other words, the whites of the United States abolished slavery before the blacks of Africa, or at least West Africa, abolished slavery of other Africans.
So let me get this straight, Dennis Prager. Slavery ended in 1875 in West Africa, unofficially until 1914. That's what you said, right? You quoted the actual professor. You misquoted her because you got to finish off the rest of what she said. Slavery continued because many people weren't aware that it had ended, similar to what happened in Texas after the United States Civil War. Right? But you didn't say that. Now, let's get to the reality of America. You want to give white men so much credit for doing so evil, but they just came together and thought that it was just wrong and greater minds prevailed. Some more bullshit, and some more bullshit that you wanted to feed everybody. But in reality, slavery ended in 1865. And you know it wasn't June 19th, it was actually December 6th. Now, here's the thing. That was the official date. America had an unofficial date as well, which you didn't tell anybody about that unofficial date. What was America's unofficial date? 1964 for the Civil Rights Act. 1965 for the Voting Rights Act. So when we get down to it, ours went from 1865 to 1965. And many people who were alive at that time and adults who went through it all said it took about 10 years after that for them to no longer feel those effects that they had during Jim Crow. So we're looking at anywhere between 100 to 110 years it took after slavery ended. And you want to talk about West Africa? It only took them 39 years. Once again, white people just trying their damnedest to make you stupid. And listen to what he says that you guys are if you don't believe him.
Part of the left's mission is to make you ignorant, and they've succeeded.
Let's grade our history test. After both of us did thorough research before producing our videos, I got an A+, and Dennis Prager got a D-. If listening to the left gives you A's and listening to Dennis Prager gives you D-, why go to PragerU? Save your money. You can be stupid all by yourself. It amazes me on what people on the right will follow.
I figured you out, Mr. Prager. You're a racist. And what you're trying to do is separate two things that should not be separated. You're talking about the United States, North America, and separating them from the Western Hemisphere when you talk about from the very onset, U.S. brought 326 slaves. We're so much better than the rest of the Western Hemisphere that brought 12.5 million. The Western Hemisphere ended slavery, that would be Spain, in 1811. Instead of giving Spain their credit, you lumped yourself in with the Western Hemisphere again. So wait a minute. When we talk about bringing slaves to the Western Hemisphere, you separate yourself. When we talk about ending slavery and it being Spain in 1811, you include yourself in the Western Hemisphere. Which one is it? Are you going to continue doing this shit? Include yourself when it's good, exclude yourself when it's bad. Why don't you just take credit for it? Man up. Instead of fucking lying every fucking 5 minutes. This whole video is chock full of half-truths and complete lies. And you got a straight face talking about you're intellectual, that you're smart, and these college kids don't know what they're talking about. And lo and behold, you're the biggest dipshit in the room. D-? Bruh, the unmitigated gall of white men. To believe so powerfully that they deserve something without ever working for it. This man thinks he deserves a university, yet he's a dropout, and he can't even find facts after doing research. He got a D- in his own fucking test. How the fuck you pull that off? This is what you get on the right. I speak facts. Straight facts. No chaser. Fuck your feelings.
Facts, no chaser. Thank you, Vic, for this. I don't understand Candace Owens. She's talking about LeBron James' school. He has a school which they offer wraparound services. If you don't know what that means, it means his school is for those who are disadvantaged and need extra care and understanding, right? So if you really kind of want to look at it, it's those kids that are disadvantaged in certain communities, mostly poor communities, that need somebody to say, you're better than what society is trying to tell you you are. Now, these kids are out here having a different experience. In this situation, they're failing their math. We don't talk about any other aspect, but they're just failing their math. But are they improving, though? And the question is yes. Some are regressing from what I've read. But that's with every school. Let me give you an example. And this is why I say Candace Owens is not for black people. Never will, never has been, as far as I know, as I've been able to hear about this woman. She's always been against black people, but in the name of trying to better black people. And she never gives you like a idea or step-by-step process or even an example of what a good black person is. She just puts out this trope that I'm trying to make black people better. How? I don't hear of any program that you started for black people. I don't hear of any understanding of what it is to be a better black person. I don't have any program, a plan. I don't have anything from you. At least LeBron James has a school. This man has donated. I haven't heard you donate to anything black. You married a white man. And ain't nothing wrong with that. It's just the fact is you're trying to escape being black. 100%. Why? Because you have nothing great to say about black people unless they're conservative or in this crazy think tank like PragerU. It's insane to me that you have black skin and pretend you give a fuck about black people. See, let me give you an understanding. If you give a fuck about black people, you offer this thing they call like constructive criticism. If there is a problem, give them the problem, but also provide a solution. You never offer solutions. Your solution is just be like me. Nobody wants to be like you. Nobody wants to sell out their people and every time something goes wrong, make up something about black people. Let me give you an example. You never talk about how there are some bad white schools that are failing. As soon as you find something that happens where a black person has failed, you jump on it. And you're always on the racist white person's side. You never look at it from a perspective of a black man who has a family, just like you do, that is actually putting his money where his mouth is. Where is your money going toward that we know of? Except for getting money from racist people and Republicans to trash black people. Please tell me, what do you have that you're focusing on helping the black community? You always want to tear it down. You're never building it back up. There's no plan, no plot, no nothing except for destruction. You understand why black people can't stand you is because you don't talk about what black people can become. You just talk about what they aren't. There's no solution with you, only complaints. So with LeBron James' school, there's solutions. They're not going to always be easy. You're already talking about he should pretty much give up. He's not an intellectual. Excuse me, ma'am. But you don't even have a college degree, not unless you went back. You're a dropout. How the hell do you tell another man that is actually doing something that he's not an intellectual? You, ma'am, are not an intellectual. Yes, I said it. And I got the evidence to back it up. You did not graduate from college, right? He went to high school, didn't graduate either. But I'm not comparing you two. I never said he wasn't intellectual. But you want to degrade him. In the midst of a black man helping black people, you tell him he's not helping them right enough. Yet though you don't offer any way to help them in the right way. Talk about they just have to be treated a certain way. Excuse me. Let me just break it down to you. Seeing as how you got new babies, you'll learn how most of the school systems work in America. My kids, I am an intellectual. My kids, when they were younger, so my kids are grown now. My kids were younger, still are, smart as shit. They went to a school, we live in the suburbs, all white. I was the only black person. My kids were beyond smart. When they were in kindergarten, they already knew how to count to 100 and do all these things, so we taught them. I never spoke to my kids with this gaga goo goo shit. I spoke to my kids in actual plain language and also with college level English. And when they went to school, they could hold a conversation with a grown ass person as if they were grown. It was an amazing thing. Teachers told us that all the time. Now, when my kids went to school and we ended up finding out that my son had this particular thing where, you know, we had to go, it's not him personally, but going to the school to have like a parent-teachers conference. But it really wasn't a parent-teachers conference. It was like some meeting to see, you know, what our kids had developed, the cards they made and all stuff like that on the wall. We met with the teacher, and she just gave glowing information about my kid. Oh, you know, my kid is this, my kid is that, smartest kid in the room. He's very helpful, he's loving, he's caring. What do you guys do? All that in the third. Now, when it came down to parent-teachers conference, when we came to see their grades and all stuff like that and talked about that, my son had received some, by this time, they didn't get A, B, and C's. They got like improvements, stuff like that, and all these different types of labels, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Well, satisfactory, unsatisfactory, stuff like that. There were some things on there that said unsatisfactory that she had told me my son was exceptional in. So, unbeknownst to me, what they were doing, I walked up to her and I said, ma'am, I got to speak to you for a second. The principal was in the room, all white school. My kids are only black. I said, you know what? I don't quite understand something. You told me my son was extraordinary. And for some reason, you have unsatisfactory on areas in which he is extraordinary, you told me. And she said, okay, I'll talk to you later, but I'm sorry, I got to talk to you about it later. The principal was there. We waited. Me and my wife, ex-wife, was not going to go anywhere. We waited around. As soon as that principal was gone and the last student was gone and the parents and all that, she thought we was going to be gone. No. I sat there and I said, ma'am, you want to talk? She said, yeah, I got to tell you guys something. We can't get funded unless we show improvement. So our principal, along with the board, if we find any kids that are extraordinary, we have to put them as like not necessarily unextraordinary, but, you know, unsatisfactory in certain areas that they're excellent in, so that we can show the improvement of unsatisfactory to extraordinary or very exceptional, or whatever the damn term was. I said, so you're using my son to get money, but you're not going to put my son where he belongs. So if my son's extraordinary, then he should be in Excel courses, not be in a situation where you're saying that he's somewhat okay, and then all of a sudden get pushed up to like extraordinary. This happened to my daughter many years later. She's 5 years different. Same schools, same thing. Did not change 5 years apart. That's how white schools work to get money. And you want to sit here and talk this shit about a black school, a black man that's doing something for black people, and I guarantee you they aren't pulling those damn games. And you want to sit here and act like you know better. An intellectual who has kids in school would fucking know this. But you didn't know this. You still don't know this. And I doubt you even believe I'm telling the truth, because you can only see through Republican and racist eyes. In this school, we don't know all the details yet. You've already made up your mind. These kids were left behind, and this man chooses to stick by their side. And you want him to fucking leave? You want him to make them feel bad? Just you on here. You think these kids failed and they fucking happy about it? And you want to sit here and act as though we should beat them over the heads after they suffered a fucking loss. These kids are probably kicking themselves in the ass for failing and feeling like they let him down. And you're here stomping on it instead of helping. That's why I know you're not for black people. You against them with a black face to try and act like you give a fuck. You do not. Quit acting like you do. And fuck off. We don't need you. I speak facts. Straight facts. Fuck your feet.
So this is all I got from the video, and it's obvious. I don't know why some people are kind of finding it hard to swallow that Candace Owen is not for black people. I mean, it's not something she's hiding. She's not for black people, and it's as simple as that. And but then it feels really horrible that people that are supposed to be there for black people, speak for black people, you know, agitate and all that, are against black people. Why? Because she's making some money off it. It is benefiting her. And why it is benefiting her, she is not part of the people. I mean, some certain things are affecting. Because if some certain things are affecting her, I am sure she would never stand up to be on their side. She will always be on black people's side. It's okay, like, you know, if you want to criticize, it's okay to criticize. It's okay to say, like, you know, but then provide solution. But her own, she will criticize and never bring solution. I mean, she is not even, I don't know, but sometimes I, like, you know, I look around and I see, like, you know, so many black celebrities that are not, they are not speaking up enough for the injustice going on in black community. And then it dawned on me that, you know, everyone is like in stomach infrastructure. Everybody just want to speak for himself and not want to, like, bring in black people into it because they do not want to lose endorsement and the rest of it. But then it is really horrible that black people, majority of them, turn their back on black community. And not just that, a lot of people, if you check out on TikTok, you will see so many black men, most especially, also acting like Candace Owen. And the truth is that some of them think they are going to be picked. But then Candace Owen is not a threat to white community because she's a woman. So all those black men coming out to sell out black community, I ran into one's live stream yesterday and I was highly disappointed. When I say highly disappointed, but then it is none of my business. I will let them continue till the day they are going to have their awakening. But then, you know what I keep saying? For all these people turning their back against black people and speaking ill about black community, not helping black community, not looking for a way to better black community, not looking for a way to make things better, may our ancestors judge them harshly. Not even, they will be judged harshly because all they do is make money out of black community, make money off black communities' problems and all that. And that is horrible. Like I keep saying, you can, if you are not for black people, trust me, I don't have anything to do with you. If you are not for black people, if you are against black people, you are absolutely against me. Yeah. And then let's get into PragerU. Yeah, you see the man, he is the one that his curriculum, like he is the one that they will be using his curriculum and all that to teach some kids in Florida. And now I am asking, why is it that white people think they can tell black people's history better than black people? Why do they come out to give wrong information? I don't know how you are going to fail in your own course because, I mean, it is your exam, right? And you are the one that prepared the exam and you are still failing on the exam. Why are they telling black people's story when they are not even qualified to tell the story? When they are not even fit to tell the story? They go around lying about black history. And then this is what they are also going to teach kids. Because it is them that will be teaching. It is their curriculum that they will be using in Florida as it stands. PragerU. And it really sucks how someone that is not qualified to even teach is, I don't know, but it's really like, you know, it's really all fucked up and messed up. Sincerely speaking, they are not qualified, but they want to teach Black history. They want to tell Black stories. They want to tell what is going on in Black community. Don't you think you are about to lie? Or you are lying? Because most of the things I saw, I think I already showed you guys where they say slavery was beneficial. I think I played some of their clips. I mean, the things that they will be teaching children in Florida, where they tell them that slavery was not really bad. It was people making it look like it was very horrible. Is this what they are going to teach kids? Anyways, this is it. This is where I'm going to draw the curtain. I absolutely want to hear from you. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. And I am saying thank you so much for the support. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.